Good morning.
Hey, welcome to Cooking with Carmel. We're back for another week of yumminess.
Yeah, we got a little helper today.
We do. This is Addison. She is my middle daughter. You might have seen her popping around here before, and if you've been to any of our shows, you've probably been helped by her many times.
Yeah.
So she's here with us.
Cool. Today we're going to be making some bourbon bread pudding, which I'm super excited about. I am a bread pudding lover.
See, and I've never really had bread pudding or made bread pudding, so this was my first go at it. So it was super easy. I am really excited about it because I'm like, wow, this is like the easiest dessert ever. You can make it ahead of time. I did it two ways. I did it one where I just let it sit for about an hour, the bread in the custard mixture, and then this next go around I let it sit overnight. So I think that the longer it sets, the more custardy that the filling gets in the middle. So, but super easy, especially if you have company coming over. It's a great dessert to have ahead of time, already made.
Yeah.
So we're excited to get started.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? So Addison's going to be my little sous chef here. She's going to throw in all the ingredients as I tell her what to do, and we're going to whip it up. Okay, so to get started with, the first thing I like to do when I make this is, and I already did this ahead of time, this is one loaf of brioche bread, and this one was already pre-sliced, but I just took the loaf and I cut it in thirds this way, and then I cut it in thirds this way, and I made bite-sized bread pieces. It's about a 3-day-old loaf that I'm using right now, but then I also cut it up and have been letting it kind of air out for the last probably an hour.
Yeah.
So it's just been, so if you want to, this is something you can do the night before or that morning or whatever you're going to throw it together. But as you're going about, I would do that part first to let the bread get a little bit dry. It'll help absorb the cream custard mixture. Okay, so we did that. We're going to set that aside. Now we're going to make the custard. So in here, we're going to turn it down a little bit because we don't need it super hot. The goal with this is to get it warm enough to melt the butter, but it doesn't need to come to like a simmer, or it doesn't need to boil or anything like that. So we don't need to set it on a very high setting, just enough to get the butter warmed, and then we're going to take it off because we'll want it to cool before we add it to our eggs. So in here is 2 cups of cream. And a cup of milk. I used whole milk. We are doing a third a cup of bourbon or whatever whiskey, bourbon whiskey. I used, and this is what we use in our caramel sauce. So I thought Woodford Reserve. So I thought I would just be consistent with the flavors because we're going to also put our bourbon caramel sauce on it. So this is some pretty tasty stuff right there. Okay, in here also goes, I have a third of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Pop that in there. I have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Yep. And then my spice mixture I have, it has 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of cardamom, a half a teaspoon of allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna just put those all in. And then you can use the whisk to just whisk it all in, and then we're just gonna let that, oh, almost forgot. My 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
Can't forget the vanilla.
How do we measure vanilla, Addison?
We eye it. We like
Yeah.
See?
we just don't measure.
We don't measure. 2 teaspoons. Yeah? Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
Put that vanilla in
No,
there.
it is a little bit more. That's about 1.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Teaching them right.
Yep.
We go through a lot of vanilla in our house. Okay, so we're just going to let this, she's just going to stir this around and let it just get all combined. The spices are going to blend in, and the butter's going to melt down nicely. And then in the meantime, I'm going to take my leftover butter that I didn't use on my stick, and I'm just going to grease our baking sheet.
Awesome. Cool. As always, like, follow, share, tag somebody that needs something sweet in their life. I just want to say thanks to everybody that did all of the stuff that you needed to do to be in the Irish cream drawing. We got a lot of reviews this week, and a lot of people participated in that, so that's cool.
Yeah.
This is only full of people that participated this last week, and I was pretty impressed.
That was pretty exciting. We said we're only going to make one batch of Irish cream.
Yeah.
And it sold out in like 36 hours.
Yep.
And so we're like, maybe we need to make one more.
Yeah.
So we did. We made one more batch, and we've partially sold that batch. I think we have about a half a batch left. So
Yeah.
it's still available if you didn't get it, but that's it. We're not making
no
any
more.
No more. Because
we'll be giving one away today for all of you that participated in the posts and stuff like that. But you can always go and leave some more reviews, and we give Carmel away every week. So
absolutely.
get your review in.
And if you did get the Irish cream and you love it, we'd love to hear that too. So
Yeah.
if you want to leave that review, that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely do that. And if you are new to Carmel Kitchen and you have not seen any of our previous shows, you can find us on YouTube and Rumble.
Yep, we're there. Okay, so we're gonna let that simmer for a minute. The next step in this is, so I've got my pan and it's all greased. And what I'm gonna do is, do you wanna do this? You wanna put in one layer of bread on the bottom. So we're just gonna layer it so there's like and then we're gonna drizzle on some bourbon caramel sauce over the top of the bread. So just fill the bottom with just a layer of bread.
There you go.
This is we lost connection. Oh, we're back. We lost connection, but we're back now. My oldest daughter and my younger daughter, my oldest one's like, Addison's like, oh, Madeline's like, oh, like, blow up in your face. Okay, so let's do a few more. I know, it doesn't have to be like, yeah. There you go. There you go. That's a good layer. Now drizzle some bourbon all over.
You know, a fun fact is that all of our kids have done everything in the shop except for cook the caramel. They've done everything else, so.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to add another layer on top of it. So the idea is that you're going to have these little pockets of little bourbon caramel bites inside of your bread pudding. That's a lot of these.
The bourbon bites
bread
pudding?
A bite of bourbon bread pudding.
Yeah.
There you go. There's some alliteration for you.
Good morning, Ricky.
Keep going.
I see Ricky saying good morning.
Good morning.
She also says the Irish cream caramel is so good. I'm drinking coffee with it right now. Thank you for shipping my orders so fast, Elizabeth. You're welcome. Actually, Stephanie helped me with shipping too. We got so many orders on my days off that on Friday, whenever I came back in, Stephanie helped me get all of those orders out the door.
Yeah.
Her whole back of her Suburban was full of orders.
It was fun.
Yep.
It was like, this is so fun.
Yep.
I said, maybe we should have a new flavor every week.
Right?
Okay, so the butter is almost melted in here, so we're gonna just take this off of the heat, and we want this to cool down to room temperature before we do our next step with it. So I actually made some up ahead of time so it would have time to cool. So we're gonna use that in the next step, and I'm gonna just set this aside and move on.
Should I put the last layer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep, put the last layer of bourbon on there, and we'll just scoot this out of the way too.
Yeah, we're not going to slack on the bourbon caramel.
No.
I don't really need that.
Good job. Yeah, actually, speaking of shipping, we always try to get, shipping is priority in our shop. We always try to get orders out as soon as possible. So we appreciate those of you that appreciate it, because not everybody does, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So for some people, it's not fast enough.
I know. You got some naked pieces to make those. And so basically this is what it's going to look like if you just see it's a bunch of bread with some caramel drizzled over the top of it. The next step in our custard is we're going to add eggs to our cream mixture. So in here, do you want to crack 4 eggs in here?
Perfect. So I'm going to read a review. C. Chilton Anderson. She says, you know when you buy something online and then you wonder if it'll ever show up? Well, wonder no more if you shop at Carmel Kitchen. I placed an order late Wednesday, it shipped Friday, and I got it on Saturday. And their caramel is loved by my whole family from Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, and Idaho. It's their favorite. Well, thank you so much, Betsy. We appreciate you too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a great review.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for sharing us with all your family all over the place. That's
I know.
awesome.
Right. All over the country.
Okay, now on this one, it's not the full. You split those before?
Oh no, wait, you just had to crack eggs in there.
I know, I wanted you to crack 4, and now the other 2 is just egg yolks. So it's going to be 4 whole large eggs and 2 egg yolks.
I was doing this wrong for a second.
Yep, you're good.
Then here, crack.
Yeah, so you're going to put the egg whites in there.
Okay.
And then the yolks in there. Yep, so just go back and forth and let
I've seen Madeline do this.
yeah.
A few times.
Look at you go.
Yeah, good job.
Maybe.
There you go. Now plop that. Plop
Oh,
that
yep.
yolk.
Yep.
Okay, just plop it in. No, I need that.
I need that.
The yolk goes in there.
Yay.
That's the part I need.
Yep. And that's why I love this show. She says, yep.
You want to do that one now? Okay, so the white goes in there, the yolk goes in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not keeping the white, we're keeping the yolk.
Baby, this is so messy.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is why I'm not a professional.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's-
we're not professional either.
There you go.
Just a non-disclosure, this is not our commercial
you
kitchen.
go,
This is Stephanie's parents' house. They graciously let us come here and cook every week. And we get to have fun here that we don't get to have at our commercial kitchen.
That's right.
Yeah.
No cracked eggs all over the commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need the egg whites. If you want to use the egg whites to make yourself an egg white omelet, there you go. Now the next part of this is we're going to take our cooled mixture and we're going to strain it into our eggs. And then we're going to strain it one more time. When we're done. And actually, I think we only need to just strain it when we're done. I add an extra straining layer there. I'm so used to straining caramel that I'm like, oh, we're just straining everything. No, it doesn't actually get strained until we pour it over. I'm like, that went through really big. Once the eggs are incorporated, that we strain it into our mix. Seeing if anyone's paying attention to how I actually wrote the recipe.
Right?
All right, do you want to mix those around?
Sure.
Get the eggs all, you see the yolks are still whole in there. We want them all combined and all mixed so they're all nice and incorporated.
Yeah. So if you are a retailer, which we've been getting actually quite a bit of new retailers signing up for wholesale on our website. But if you are a retailer, you can apply to be a wholesaler on our website. It's right there on the homepage. It's the last one. And if you know a food specialty store that's close to you that you would like to see us in, let us know and we will reach out and try to get in there for you guys.
So Austin, what's your favorite part of Carmel Kitchen?
Definitely the shows. I really enjoy going, meeting new people, and selling caramel.
Yeah, I'm excited for the shows to start up too. I'm excited for farmers markets. I'm excited, I'm excited for it's the type of people that go to shows and that go to farmers markets, and I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very family-friendly environment.
Yeah.
I think your favorite part of going to shows, though, is actually trading caramel with other people's. Yeah, that's what she likes to do. She's like, Mom, can I go trade caramel for something at that booth over there? Yeah, that's her favorite thing.
It's free stuff.
Sorta. Kinda.
Sorta.
All right, so how does that look? Okay, so I'll give it one more real good whisk, and then this is the part that we strain. I'm just gonna make sure that it's all. Pretend your brother's in the bowl, Addison. Okay, so now we've got our casserole dish here full of bread. This is where we're going to strain it over.
You hold this?
You don't hold that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pour this all over the bread pudding here. And get it nice and moved around. And you'll see here that there's going to be bits of egg that are kind of clogging the strainer. So I just like to usually take my whisk and kind of just whisk it in there until it all kind of globs down. The liquid's kind of holding on to it. Sometimes I go underneath here and it kind of helps get it to go too. But basically, it's just the parts of the egg that didn't fully incorporate. So there's pretty good enough.
Hi, Nita. Nita's watching from Florida.
Ooh,
Nita was my
Florida.
babysitter whenever I was really young, and she's like my other mother.
I'd like to be in Florida right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna kind of move that all around there and kind of get it all evened out.
Yeah.
And basically, that's it. So sometimes I go in and I dunk some of the bread to get into the custard, because that's really what we want. Is we want this to be a nice, yummy custardy filling, and then just the crunchiness on the top. And so what I like to do, like I said, let it sit for at least an hour to let the bread soak up or overnight. You could totally refrigerate this and then bake it for about 35 to 45 minutes at 350 degrees. If you've let it sit overnight, you might need to add a few more minutes to it if it's been in the refrigerator and it's a little cool. So, okay, so that's that, and we'll show you what a finished product looks like.
Yum.
We got a hot pad. Still warm.
Yeah. So I'm going to invite you guys, anybody that has any questions for us that you'd like us to answer next week, we will answer your questions. Susan says, you had me at bourbon, LOL. And then she says, I have to watch the replay. I missed the whole recipe.
Well, it's just bourbon.
Yeah.
That's the recipe. This is bourbon. It's an easy one today.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what, and like you can see here that you don't have to, like, you can use different size pans. So this one is like a, what is this, like a 4x7, something like that. That one's a round. If you wanted to do individual servings, you can just portion it out into individual servings and cook them that way too. So it's pretty versatile. So okay, so here is how it came out of the oven. It is still really warm on the bottom. At this stage, I like to do one final drizzle of the bourbon caramel. And then Addison, do you want to grab the ice cream out of the freezer? And this is how we like to serve it. Super yummy in my tummy. Got some bowls here. And serving spoon. So, do you want to dish up some in a bowl? And I'm going to get the ice cream scooper. You want to do that?
This is not my professionalism with
Okay.
designing, making it look pretty.
You want to make it look pretty? It doesn't have to look pretty. That's what the love about this recipe is. Very rustic.
Yeah.
It does not have to be pretty. This is not a look pretty recipe. So you can see that the inside is super moist and custardy. Maybe you can see better.
We'll get you a better piece.
See better like looking at it through here. You can see that it's, I don't know, can you see that? I don't know. I'm not gonna drop the whole thing on the counter again. That's what I do well. But you can see that it's very, very moist and custardy in the middle. So the bread is totally soaked up the custard mixture, and it's gonna be almost like pudding.
Yep.
In the middle, pudding. I'm from the South.
Yeah.
Okay, so the best part is you add a little scoop of vanilla ice cream and, of course,
Some more bourbon caramel sauce. Yeah.
And there you go. You have a really yummy bread pudding dessert that you can pop in the oven while dinner is being made, and then it's totally ready, and there's no mess for when your guests are over, and there you have it. So, voila.
Voila.
Voila. All right, so that's it for what we've got. Do we have anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
Did we cover it? Did you give the giveaway for the Irish cream?
Nope, not yet.
So I keep
Good,
go
it's
here.
good, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I want to know who gets the bottle. Oh, drum roll.
Yeah.
Alexi Nielsen.
Nielsen, yeah. Alexi
Oh,
Nielsen.
she's lucky. I think she won something else from us one time too.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Lucky.
Well, you get a bottle of Irish cream coming your way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll take that. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We'll see you again next week.
Okay. Have fun. All right. You want to try it?
Oh, yes.
Who wants to try?